Hasn't Justin Trudeau got a nice way about him? Lovely.
He does seem like a very nice man.
When he first came into office, at least half, I think, maybe even more than half of his cabinet or his cabinet, his government were women. And one of the reporters said to him, why have you thought it's important that at least half your government is women? And he said, because this is the 21st century. It was literally just that, he said. It was perfect.
He's got a big tattoo.
He's gorgeous.
Now we get to the truth of it, ladies and gents.
My cup of tea.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Okay, let's go through the papers this morning. Former Conservative advisor Claire Pearsall and political editor of HuffPost UK, Kevin Schofield, are here. Good morning,
Good morning.
both. Kevin, let's have a look at The Guardian to begin with. They're looking at King Charles, so they're talking about a show of temper. Do you know, I think, is this the pen incident they're talking about?
The two weirdly pen incidents. There was one where he was signing after the proclamation last week, and he told one of his aides to get something out there, and he kind of made a...
There was a pen holder in the way or something. There wasn't room for everything on the table.
And then later on, when he was, the pen was leaking. And he obviously was a flash of temper.
You see, I don't think it's a show of bad temper, if I'm honest. I think that's someone who is absolutely drained to the core, getting a bit tetchy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think you've got to put it in context that his mother had just died. He's suddenly thrust into he's always been in the limelight, but even more so. He suddenly has all these responsibilities. He's traumatised, obviously, and the gaze of the whole world is on him. So I think you have to cut him a bit of slack.
And he's signing something which is historically very important with his new names, Charles Rex or Charles R or something. And you want to get it right, and he's given a pen that leaks all over everything.
And also, he was writing the wrong date.
He was. I think that's so human.
Yeah.
Given what he's just been through, he got the date wrong. And
I love that.
One of his aides said to him, actually, you'd got the date wrong yesterday as well or something, didn't he? And I just thought, give him a break. Yes, that's right.
Interestingly, I thought Camilla was she's very quietly supportive of him during that moment.
I know, I was going to say that she handled it all so brilliantly and was just such a calming influence, give me the pen, we'll deal with it. I mean, I think if that was me, I would have hoofed that pen across the room and the language would have been a lot worse.
I was saying, I hate this stinking pen.
Yes.
As bad as it got, really.
Well, absolutely, that's not bad language, really, is it?
Yes. No, I mean, actually, do you know what? Weirdly, with a lot of these things, I felt even more respect for him in that, because it was a private moment that actually no idea how it was filmed without anyone knowing, really. They didn't seem to know the camera was there.
No, he didn't.
But I just thought, here's a man who's strained, and he's just had a bit of, a bit of a flare of temper. I respected him for it.
But according to Giles Brandreth, who writes, I think, in the Mail today, and he knows her very well, he knows Camilla very well, apparently she has a way of dealing with Charles when he's getting a bit, as all wives do with husbands. If he's going on a bit and she wants to really, she has a go at him in the small of his back. She'll sort of do that in the small of his back. And if he's going on a bit and actually just going on a bit and needs to move on, she'll tug the back of his jacket. She tugs it quite hard, apparently. So watch out for it, apparently. He does that. She manages him extremely well, apparently.
You see, now that is...
Watch out.
I'm not...
That's a real skill to be able
Isn't
to
it?
do that.
Yeah.
And for him to pay attention as well. He's obviously learned that she is not to be ignored.
Yes. Right, let's get back to other matters, though, should we, Claire, this morning. And seeing with The Guardian, we're looking at rail chaos. The unions have abandoned the strikes this weekend. Understandably, but they're coming back.
They are, and they're coming back sort of with a vengeance. 2 24-hour strikes on the 1st and the 5th of October, which is designed around the Conservative Party conference, which is happening in Birmingham.
Right.
And there are a number of train operating companies that are involved in this, and it looks like they've all come together and decided that they looked very sort of grown up and respectable for cancelling the strikes, and I think everybody was really grateful for that and had a little bit of respect for them. But then to lump it on again, so that's it. Once the mourning period is over for the general public, out come the unions, back go the strikes. In the winter, when the costs are going up, when everything is dark and miserable.
What did we expect them to do?
I know. I suppose there was always that lovely little bit of hope that perhaps perhaps it wouldn't happen. Misguided hope at that. But it will really damage the Conservative Party conference, of which some of us, Kevin, are attending and some of us aren't. Some of us are staying at home.
Well, if you can get a train.
I mean, it is going to be a nightmare for people going to the conference, but it's just the whole point. You know, that is leverage, is them using the power that they've got to strike right at the heart of the Conservative Party.
Well, the headline you're looking at says, ruthless Truss plans to stamp her authority with a 4-day whirlwind.
Well, one of the things, strangely, that coincidentally, that she's going to be doing, we're told, is, you know, tightening up the trade union law. So that's a massive fight, political fight that she's going to have in the early days. But this is looking at, obviously, normal hostilities in politics have been suspended for the last week and a bit. And won't return until Tuesday, but when they do, it's full steam ahead.
It has to be.
Well, it has to be, because they're making up for lost time now. So Liz Truss, she's got the UN General Assembly Tuesday, Wednesday. I think she gets back on Thursday at some point. And then Friday we've got the mini budget, which is obviously going to be basically the whole government. Her government is going to rest on whether this is a success or not. You know,
It's odd to do it on a Friday.
Well, it is, yeah. So they're having to. I think the House was supposed to rise on Thursday for another 3 weeks for conference season. So that's not happening. So they're going to rise on Friday instead. They're coming back a week early just to make up for all the
Should conference season be scrapped this year?
Yes, I think it should.
I wouldn't mind.
I mean, it just seems like absolutely the wrong time.
And a waste of money, surely.
The Lib Dems cancelled theirs. But I mean, well, by the time Labour starts, I mean, next Sunday, you know, we'll be through the mourning period. Then the Conservatives is the week after. So
but there is an argument to say, why do we not have it at weekends? Because it always used to be a weekend activity anyway. So it's only in sort of modern times that it's gone on from starting on a Sunday to finishing on a Wednesday.
And we've all been to them, and they're jollies, frankly, aren't they? They're a load of windbags. They of all types.
Not very jolly, but yes.
Well, they can be a bit jolly. Meanwhile, Claire, there are some ministers still waiting to be sacked.
Well, this sort of comes on perfectly on the back of that, is that there are positions to be filled within government. Not all of this is the government's fault, because with Queen Elizabeth sadly dying, we couldn't continue with appointing new ministers because you need to have royal assent to do so. So that has all been paused, and there is now a frantic conversation between Number 10 and King Charles's office to see whether he will appoint new ministers, as is the way, in the official period of mourning for the royal family, which is 7 days after the funeral. And there is some hope that he will do that.
Well, it doesn't have to be done in person, does it?
It doesn't have to be done in person, but he, as the monarch, has to sign those off. He has to give assent to those appointments. So hopefully that can be done in modern times. But we are left with several positions. I think there's about 55 positions still to fill. Now, these are junior ministerial roles, but also importantly, and especially for this week coming, are whips office. So you've got a number of whips that aren't appointed, which if you're going to get your colleagues in the chamber and vote the right way, then you're going to need that discipline from the whips, and we don't have them.
Well, if you're going to hit the ground running, which is what this government needs to do,
it does,
then it's got to be sorted, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, it's just one of the other sort of knock-on effects of the Queen dying at the time that she did. You know, I think it was a Tuesday when Liz Truss officially became Prime Minister. Queen died on the Thursday, so she hadn't had time, as we say, to get government all the positions filled, and everything's had to be put on hold.
Before we say goodbye to you both, can we end on the last story, which is lovely but surprising?
Yeah, so this is a young couple, Caitlin Knight and Jake Hamilton, were expecting triplets, and were told at the 22-week scan that they were going to be boys.
Yeah, so it's natural triplets, isn't it? It's not IVF or anything. These are natural triplets, so they're all the same gender. So they were all expecting boys.
They were going to be called Theo, Luca and Jude. And then, lo and behold, when they were born, they were actually 3 girls. So they're going to be called Thea, Lily and Esme instead. But fortunately, they had painted the nursery in a neutral colour. So
but they had got lots of boys' toys.
Yes,
and they've given those to charity, I think.
Yes. So a little unexpected, but
it's quite a surprise, isn't it? Quite a surprise.
Yeah.
Lovely one to end on.
Love that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.